and welcome to Tales from the Backlog. I am Steve Boshear, and I am not your dungeon master for the evening. Here's our logo. Yay. All right. Take it away, Jason.
Yay! We're playing Stalker again tonight, following up on last week's exciting exploration.
Hey, it was exciting. We got teleported, and then there was bones.
There's bones. Yeah, then there were bones.
There was
That sounds so ominous.
It was really, it was much scarier in play than it seems like when I just summarize it like that.
I should have done a previously on.
Previously
and then
on.
made one of you do it. Oh, shit.
I have some notes. I took some notes.
I have a vague memory of what happened.
We tried really hard to get somewhere and didn't make it. That's what happened.
You're still trying to get there.
Yeah.
We went to the rest stop. We saw blue lights in the bathroom and decided to avoid it because it was very suspect. We found what appears to be an invisible wall that if you walk through, you teleport back towards the rest stop. And upon that happening, Dr. Octavian decided to continue on, found the old sawmill, saw a bunch of bones and said, yeah, screw that. And
let's avoid that.
Let's avoid that. Ran back into the group. Very quickly, we all came to the agreement that said magical field probably extends way far. So the only option we have left is potentially to explore the tunnel. But we found a place to crash at night because darkness was descending upon us.
Yeah, the admin building.
Yeah.
The xsplit.com VCAN building.
Just making sure you guys are paying attention.
Yeah.
You look a lot better.
Is that our sponsor?
Woo! Go Steve. Why am I X-splitting? Okay, you can see me now.
Yep.
All right, there we go.
He ran into one of those void pockets.
I know, I keep doing that. All right, let's get the introductions out of the way. Start with Kenny, go around.
Yes, so I am Dr. Fred Octavian, the doctor of the party.
Who's most definitely a doctor.
Yes,
oh, yeah.
Spent many years in medical school to be a doctor. Was surprised to find out, it was frowned upon when he started selling some painkillers on the side. Everyone enjoys, a little bit of relief from the pain. And started to work a little bit for the company and knows a little bit about some of the organisms. But since he lost his license, he's now doing this run to make a little extra cash.
I am Matt. I am happy to be back. I'm playing Rick Doc Green, not Doctor Doc. And I guess we'll find out what happens to me whenever I show up. I just got here, so.
I am Mia. I'll be playing Sinzara again. She's basically a climber slash, I would say fighter, but yeah, she's along for the ride, enjoying it. Keeping an eye out for Mike, who's a younger friend. There we go. Back to it. Thanks, Jason.
I'm not that much younger.
Okay, Mike. What's up with you, Mike?
I'm like 22, all right? I've been a legal adult for 4 years. I can drink now, and soon I'll be able to rent a car.
You're the same age Sam Raimi was when he made Crime Wave.
Of course I am.
That well-known movie that everyone knows went really well.
Absolutely. If I can make Crime Wave, I can do anything. I am a resident, lifelong resident of the Klamath Falls area. My hometown of Lower Klamath, California was engulfed when the zone formed 13 years ago, which time I was a mere preteen, camping with my dad, who I had to kill when he mutated, and then ran barefoot through the forest. And I've basically been trying to deal with that trauma ever since. I'm an outdoorsy type. I do a lot of travel and running. I take care of my handy, capable mother, who doesn't do much leaving of the garage that we rent. And I thought I'd try my hand at being a stalker. See if I could maybe get back in to some of the places I am familiar with from my youth.
You know, Mike, I'm kind of curious about something.
Yeah.
How did your handy-capable mother get out of Lower Klamath?
She was injured on the way out, and the scope of her injury did not take full effect until later. That's all the specificity. What's that?
How did you two reunite?
We found each other at one of the makeshift sort of refugee centers that was being set up at, you know, like the local high school outside of the zone area.
Okay.
There were people sort of gathering in large groups. There was a lot of confusion that night, but people were trying to organize it, and we just ended up going to the same spot. I was running towards home, thinking that that's where I had to get to, until I realized home was also engulfed, and so I naturally ended up at the closest safe place to my home, and that's where she was as well.
Sounds good. Well, not good, but good that you both found each other again.
Indeed.
All right, well, as darkness descends on the road to Lower Klamath, you all are coming down from the primary mine shaft. You're headed towards this admin building, looking for shelter for the night. It is on, it's on the outskirts of this mining facility. Facility in the sense of like the big structure that processes the ore that comes out of that would have come out of the mines. Yeah, so the sun is setting off to the east. There's, onto the horizon, not the horizon, but to the east, and the plains to the east of this, you can see an aurora borealis, but it's coming up from the ground as opposed to floating up in the sky.
Is this a zone thing, or do I have my east and west mixed up? Doesn't the sun set in the west?
Yeah, no, but I'm saying that there's this weird lighting effect going on.
I see. I hear you.
It's
okay.
More easily visible now that the light is dimming.
Got it.
And the best, the most colloquial way you would describe it would be like an aurora borealis, but it's on the ground.
Ooh. We're all in the office thing, right?
Well, you're headed down to the office. It's an old rectangular building, made out of pretty cheap material. It is luck and surprise that it has made it this long without getting scrapped somehow. The main door to it is shut. and there are no lights on inside. How is you all approaching this? Well, how are Dr. Fred, Sinzara, and Marathon Mike approaching this?
I mean, I think cautiously goes without saying.
With Mike out front.
Yeah, you first, Mike.
Yeah. Now, the doctor's got to stay in the rear to ensure that he can apply medical aid once something happens. Well, not too far in the rear. He wants to be in the middle.
Well, define cautiously for me. Like, what are you doing approaching this structure?
Is there any like cover on the way there, like other buildings, piles of old tires or anything like that?
Wait, any what?
Just like piled junk, anything we could like kind of skulk behind and hide and make our way there slowly?
Not really. I mean, like I said, this building is on the outskirts of the greater like ore processing structure. So I mean, it's definitely close. It's probably the closest to the mine, but there's not really any cover between the mine and it.
Well, I am moving with my rifle out.
Okay.
I have it, braced as if to fire, but I'm not aiming at anything in particular. I'm just sort of doing a sweep in my best saw this on TV sort of style.
Yeah, and I will have my pistol out, but yeah, holding it up, doing the.
And,
I guess bringing up the rear.
And Dr. Octavian will be like throwing little steel nuts in front of us to ensure that we're not walking into but like trying to make sure it doesn't like bounce off of anything loud, right? Just kind of roll. Okay. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll them in front of us. So less noise.
So just out of curiosity, Sinzara, where did your pistol come? Like, this isn't a why do you have a pistol, but what's your background with having that pistol?
Having suffered at the hands of her quote-unquote enemies, she acquired one for further self-protection, as her martial skills were not enough protection against a gang of bad boys.
Okay. And Mike, like, what's your experience like with a hunting rifle?
I was taught to use it by my dad when I was a kid. It's his from back then, and I have only fired it as an adult probably a handful of times because ammo's expensive. I carry it whenever I go out in the wilderness or to the borderlands for any reason. Mostly, the only part of it that I usually use is the scope, because it's good for seeing distances. But if you're gonna bring the scope, why not bring the rifle? You never know when someone's gonna suddenly mutate and need to be killed.
So it is loaded.
I don't necessarily keep it loaded, but since I have it at the ready now, yeah, I've loaded it.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, y'all approach this building pretty easy peasy. Like what are you doing? Like the approach, like there was no issue with it. The light is getting dimmer. Yeah.
Trying the door.
So just out of curiosity, Doc.
Mm-hmm.
No, Doc. Not Doctor. Doc.
Sorry. Excuse me.
Is that door locked?
Is the door locked?
Is it like
No.
locked or braced or anything?
No. Am I inside of that?
Yes.
Okay. No.
Okay, yeah, no. Door opens, easy peasy. Inside, you see long dilapidated remains of this administrative office. And you also see our good friend Rick Green, who has already made some kind of camp in there. Rick, can you tell me about your camp? And why you are, as much as you're willing to tell about why you're here.
So I'm here because Goat Stroker, or whatever his name is, had also assigned me to come figure stuff out. So went for it, found my way here. My camp is relatively makeshift. Even though the door is unlocked, I am a little paranoid. So everything's just like well hidden. You can see that there's a place where I sleep, but it's just a guess. Because I also look incredibly disheveled and antsy. So, do I sleep? Time will tell.
What do you look like to us? Like, how old are you? What's your hair like? What's going on?
So I'm in my mid-40s, all white hair.
Oh,
Longer hair.
I see.
Right. Yeah. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, I would say that I look a lot like Rick or Doc Brown, or some combination of the two.
I see.
Do we know Rick from our prior experiences?
I don't know. Rick, do you know any of these people?
If you haven't been around this area, you don't know me.
I would say that the only based on what I heard today, I would say the only person I might recognize would be Doc Ock, but it would have been like very much in passing, or like he just has one of those faces. He looks really drugged up though, so like, who's to say?
True. Actually, I'm down to 294 painkillers at this point. I've already taken one before we made our way across the field.
Okay, so guys,
So
there's a
Is
guy
Doc
in
awake?
here.
Do we recognize Doc at all?
Well, I guess you do, right?
Well, Doc recognized me, but I mean, that's because I'm a doctor.
If I'm suspicious, I'll bring my gun and aim it at like, who are you and what are you doing here?
Yep, my gun is also aimed. I'm like, what?
Is Doc awake?
Yeah, I would say I'm awake, but I'm also looking at you guys with the same kind of like, what are you guys doing here? How did you get here? What's going on? Like, this is where I was, so you have to answer the questions.
Okay, fair point, but counterpoint, guns. Who are you?
I also have a gun, but my name is Rick, and we could point guns at each other, or we could just talk. I'm clearly not a threat. Like, I'm absolutely not a threat. I just look like I've been here forever.
You just told us you have a gun, and now you are claiming not to be a threat.
You have your guns pointed at me. I'm telling you that I also have a gun.
Yes, you own a gun, is what you're saying, but it's not out.
It is not out, but you don't know where it is.
Is anyone else hearing "I'm a threat" in that statement?
At this point, Dr. Octavian has dropped another painkiller, so we're down to 293.
Oh, beans.
All right, why are you in here?
Why are you in here? I was here. Why are you in here?
We're here
You
looking
can
for a place to sleep the night before we go into the mine of death and face our certain death. What are you doing here?
I am also interested in the mine, but I didn't have any other potential bodyguards slash bulletproof vests in the form of people to go with. So
What happened to the ones you had?
the ones there's no ones that I had. You think that I did that to those bones? Those are bones, man. I'm not a cannibal.
You seem like the kind of guy who didn't walk here by himself, is what I'm saying.
I drove my car.
You have a car?
Yeah. It's a sweet car.
Would it fit in the mine shaft?
No.
Fuck.
So now what are you guys doing? Like, what's with the mine for you guys?
Well, we got to go somewhere. We thought the mine might lead there.
But why are you going?
Why are you going?
Well, you already said Mr. Goatsucker, right?
No, he didn't say that in character to us, did he?
Oh, true. That is true.
So I'm here because I was asked to come here due to my skills. I have skills.
Yeah, we work for the church. We're here to see if any of the mine creatures need Jesus.
It's likely that they do. Have you seen them?
Yes.
They do need Jesus.
Well, praise the Lord.
Which one of you is the
all
priest?
Him.
We're going to send him to heaven as quickly as we can.
Amen.
Damn it, Mike! I'm a doctor, not a priest.
When you said you're a doctor, like my eyes lit up, and I was just like, "You're a doctor? Like I'm a doctor? Oh my gosh!"
Well, there goes my cunning ruse.
Cunning. All right. At this point, I guess Doc is going to kind of look around and see, is there enough room for 4 of us in here, or?
I mean, yeah, it might feel a little cramped, but there is room for 4 of you in this building.
All right. Using my agility, I'm going to quickly snatch the driest place away from the door.
Using your agility?
Using my agility and dexterousness, I am going to snatch the best place to sleep.
How many painkillers have you had? Because that's going to seriously affect your agility and dexterousness.
Agility is not a stat in this game.
It's a skill. I am agile.
Okay.
It is technically a skill.
Could I use like Sixth Sense to determine whether or not RDG is good or bad?
RDG. And I use Woodsman to consider whether I want to leave this place and sleep outside.
Well, Woodsman... What the fuck is Woodsman under?
Fitness. No, that was a joke. I actually have no intention of going and sleeping outside. I'm just sort of wishing I could. I'd be happier camping.
Well, this is like camping, just, in a cabin that's really run down.
And is actually an office.
Yeah.
Is there a coffee machine?
I mean, yeah.
Yes.
Obviously there was.
Is there still coffee in it?
I mean...
Yes.
Ew. It's got a thick layer of
Are you willing to call,
slimy
like...
mold.
It's at this point, it's not even slimy mold. It's just going to be dried out, like, dust color.
No, see, the thing about Mike... I was just going to say the thing about Mike is that Mike's pretty sure that if you just assume that the stuff in the zone is random chance, eventually one of them's going to be beneficial. Maybe there would be one that made coffee not go bad.
I would say that I would have made my own coffee, because who knows how I've been here. I'm pretty wired.
Well, Doc, I don't know how long you've been in this building. How long have you been in this building?
Long enough to make some coffee.
He's typing that up. Long enough to make coffee.
Oh, I'm not typing.
No, I'm actually looking something.
I thought you were taking notes.
Interesting. Okay, well, you know what? Having just Googled it, you could probably find some instant coffee here that is still good.
Yeah,
Because apparently instant coffee has a shelf life of over 20 years.
I'm finding like a little packet and just ripping it open.
Oh my gosh, this stuff is so nasty.
That's even like at year 1, let alone year 20.
I'm trying to avoid dipping into my caffeine pills.
Right before you go to bed.
Yeah. Meanwhile, there's sort of a loud plasticky sound as Dr. Octavian is taking out his bedroll, his brand new pristine bedroll, still like in plastic wrap since he had bought it at the local sporting goods store, and is now like, you know, rolling out his nice sleeping bag, preparing to bed down for the night.
You seem really comfortable, Doc. I still don't know about this guy. I don't know if I can, out of character, trust my empathy or not. My charisma's got some negatives.
Do you want to trust him?
Yeah, I'm a light sleeper, which again is a skill. So if he messes with me, I'll wake up.
You'll wake up. Don't mess with me. I'll wake up.
Yep.
I'll just try and sleep with one eye open.
Gripping your pillow tight.
There you go. You picked up on that. You picked up what I put down.
All right.
So, how are you all taking this for the night?
Mike's just going to sit in whatever office chair is not too broken to sit in, and hold the rifle and basically keep watch. Mike's 22, and he's taking advantage of it.
Oh, did we shut the door, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I would have, I'm sure. And once we decided to stay here and not kill the doc and run, I'm sure we would have shut the door.
And sort of barricaded in a way, maybe put like a board under the door handle.
Why didn't the old man barricade it?
I didn't think anybody else was coming, so.
But you're hiding your campsite.
No, that's just like the way that I am.
I thought the way you are was like disheveled and smelly.
I didn't say I was smelly. I am disheveled, though.
But you are smelly, I'm letting you know.
Oh, well, that might just be you.
We have been walking all day.
I've got my feet up on a desk. I'm bouncing my bouncy ball off the floor on the wall and back to my hand, Steve McQueen style.
What? Like, are you all just going straight to bed? Are you cooking? Or what are y'all doing?
I'll eat whatever doesn't require cooking that we might have brought with us.
Yeah, some sort of beef jerky or something.
Yeah.
Portable stove. Okay. So are you all staying up a little bit, or?
Mike's intention is to keep watch as long as he can stay awake.
Okay.
Hence the caffeine. This is kind of my habit. Like when I'm on a run, I don't really sleep.
Okay.
Fred wants to catch as many Z's as he can. So
Fred is older and wiser.
Yes.
Yes.
He's gonna pop a Zambian and rack out.
Okay. What's Sinzara getting in on this?
She'll trust Mike to keep watch. And hey, Mike, if you start to feel drowsy, wake me up. I'll sit watch.
And Rick?
I am going to attempt to talk Mike's ear off about what they've been doing or seeing or whatever, just asking him a million questions about everything.
Well, we decided not to fight the light in the bathroom, and then the zone decided we should fight the light in the bathroom, so we still didn't. Instead, we followed Doc Ock to some bones, and by then it was getting pretty late, so we came in here and decided not to shoot you in the head. Still bouncing. I'm not going to stop this until someone asks me to. Probably a few times.
I mean, I don't even notice. So.
Well, you're not one of the people trying to sleep.
So, I mean, about how late would you say you finished up that conversation?
I mean, how late was it when we walked in here? It was just getting to be sundown, right? Like
the sun was like decently set by the time y'all got in here.
Well, yeah, and depending on time of year, that could be like 5 or 8:30. Yeah, I don't know. It's probably not too late. Beginning of the night. If Doc just started talking to me like right when they laid down.
Well, Doc, are you going to keep talking to him after he finishes that story?
Yeah, so I guess I'll just ask him like where he came from, where he's going, how did he get that gun? Any bit of information that I can get out of him, I will just ask incessant questions.
And what you get out of me is an indecipherable mixture of question dodging, lies, and a tiny bit of truth.
So, Doc, I'm curious. What's keeping you awake right now?
My own energy, I guess. I don't sleep because I'm normally just like tinkering with stuff or thinking or trying to determine what I can do with random pieces of trash that I find.
Okay.
So like my own interest keeps me up, I guess.
Okay.
You've got some of that hypomania they all talk about.
Well, I mean, as Rick is pestering Mike about, just whatever. Doc, Fred, I'm assuming you were able, you popped an Ambien, you're good for done.
Mm-hmm.
Sinzara, how are you dealing with getting to sleep with the constant talking and the of Mike's bouncy ball?
For a long period of time, I just kind of close my eyes and act as if I'm sleeping. But as their conversation winds down, I finally, hey, Mike, chill out with the ball, please.
And you know what? Just because it's Sinzara that asked, it's only going to take once.
Okay.
I'll put it
away. I appreciate it. And I kind of roll all the way over and go to sleep.
Yeah. The one person here that I consider a real person, basically.
Thanks, Mike.
All right, well, as Sinzara is actually getting off to sleep, you hear a loud metallic crunching sound approaching from the ore processing facility.
Does anybody else hear a loud metallic crunching sound?
Everyone who is still actually awake hears it.
Okay, so not Fred.
If Doc Fred had not drugged himself to sleep, there's a good chance it would have woken him up.
Can we tear open another coffee packet and shove it in his mouth?
Oh, Doc, how is that coffee going to interact with your Ambien?
I don't know, but I mean, I've got some stimulants they can, shoot me up with as well if they want to wake me up.
Does anybody know what any of these do?
No. Like,
Yeah,
Doc,
one of those looks like an EpiPen, so just stab him with it.
You got it.
Doc, wake up.
No, I stabbed him with the EpiPen.
He is up.
Yeah.
All right, Doc, you wake up and you're super disoriented. I mean, you were deep drug-induced sleep, and now you are not. You are in a very drug-induced awake.
I
And there's
imagine
a
it doesn't
loud
feel too
metallic-
good.
Are we home yet? Are we there yet?
Define home. If home means crushed to death in an old camper, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still out of it.
I'm,
Can't you hear? Can't you hear that outside, Doc? What is that noise?
No, what are you talking about? And then after a second, he pulls out the earplugs that he had put in to get some sleep.
do you have a cucumber mask on too?
No, just one of those really bougie sleep masks.
Nice. Can I see anything out the window?
Well, at this point, it's pretty. It's well, no, it would be. So you're looking out the window. There's long shadows everywhere, long and deep. They don't necessarily seem to be coming from any direct source of light, but you can. Are you looking where the grinding metal sound is coming from?
Yes, that's what I'm looking for.
Okay, cool. You can't really see anything in this light, but you can definitely hear it moving around. It's moving like since you started hearing it, it sounds like it's circumnavigating around the administrative building. It hasn't it's maybe made it halfway around. Maybe it sounds like it's maybe 10 meters out.
Is this something that I've heard previously? Or is this new?
Well, Rick, how many nights have you been here?
I feel like
3.
3? Yeah, you have heard this every night you have been here.
So then I'm completely unaffected by it because I haven't been able to figure out what it is yet. So I would just say that I'm continuing to mess with my stuff.
Well, in any of those nights, did you check this out at all, or did you just try and ignore it for the night?
So I would say the first night I tried to look out the window and see if I could find anything, but if all I saw was long shadows, I wasn't going to go out there on my own to find out what it was. And then I would say that I just looked for something different the next night, didn't find it. So the third night I would say I was starting to be unaffected by it.
All right. And I'm going to say, just since you've been here for a few nights, 3 nights, is this 3 nights previous, or is this the third night?
3 nights previous.
Okay, so this is your 4th night here. What are you eating?
Oh, I've got stuff. I brought the beef jerky and other
EpiPens.
Well, the EpiPen you got from Doctor, so that wasn't me. I just
Right, but I
recognized
just
it.
assume you have your own given your whole appearance.
Oh no, that's just natural.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that you. All right, so you haven't really, you don't know what this is. You just know that every night there has been this noise, and it has lasted all night. But it does go away with the morning.
Yeah, I would say that I can't figure out, with my desire to stay alive, I can't figure out what it is.
Haven't figured out what it is.
Haven't attempted to figure out what it is.
And it hasn't come for you, obviously. So
That's it. Just this, whatever this noise, whatever is making this noise, seems to patrol the grounds of the ore processing plant just all night.
Hey, Doc Ock.
Yeah.
Sorry I stabbed you.
Yeah. What?
Go to sleep.
Yeah. Right. Okay. And he'll just rack back out. Like as soon as you go to sleep, he'll just fall back asleep.
Oh, I wish I could do that some days.
Hey, I'm role playing. It doesn't have to be real.
Shit. I mean, seeing as you were in a literal drug-induced awake state.
Right, but there was the Ambien as well. Like, it didn't cease existing.
Yeah.
I don't know, Matt, what would happen?
If you got hit with an EpiPen on Ambien,
Yeah.
you wouldn't go back to sleep. You would be up. But for the sake of role playing,
Sure.
I'll at least try to go back to sleep.
You can just lay down and hold still.
Yeah.
I think at this point Doc Ock is hearing his heartbeat like through his brain.
Would you guess that it's louder than the grinding metallic noise that's coming from outside?
To him, maybe, yeah.
All right, well, Mike, if Doc Green's been here 3-4 nights and has never encountered any danger from this, whatever it is, then Mike's gonna chill back out and sit down at the desk where he was.
Yeah, I would say that, like, if there's any alarm on anybody's face, I'm just like, this happens every night, guys. Like, I'm not gonna go out there. It doesn't come in here.
All right. Well, I mean, y'all are going to make it through the night then, I guess. Steve, I forget. Is Mike a light sleeper?
Yeah, he's called Marathon for a number of reasons. One of which is, he does these things in one big push. He's not going to sleep unless he has no choice.
Well, I mean, like, you have the light sleeper ability.
No, I don't have that ability.
Oh, okay, then, yeah, like, despite the grinding noise, like a decent way into the night, you fall asleep.
Okay.
Doc, in fact, is a light sleeper.
Gotcha.
So I think both Docs are.
Hence the Ambien.
Yeah.
It comes with a degree.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just banking on the fact that I'm 22, and I've seen the 22-year-olds on the film sets I've been on, and I'm like, was I like that? Oh my god, because they're going to something else after the shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, you're maybe not as well fed and taken care of, and you've just been hiking all day.
Sure. I'll fall asleep eventually. Sure.
So yeah, like you all wake up in the morning, and it is a bright, sunny new day. There is no grinding noise going on now.
All right. Well, it's bright and sunny, and the evil mining robot seems to be done with whatever he does. Have you seen it, Doc? Does it look like Optimus Prime, or like what is?
I have not seen it. I believe you went looking out the window last night.
I didn't see
And
it. I assume it's like a giant RoboCop with the way the steps sounded.
Well, it's more like it was more like imagine a garbage disposal trying to eat like tinfoil, but deeper and louder.
Hmm.
Tinfoil.
Well, surely it retreated to the mine. We're gonna have to deal with this.
Well, good thing I got old Betsy here. I don't really call her that. I don't call it her. It's a gun. Let's go. Mike's not a morning person.
Well, there is more of that instant coffee.
No, there isn't.
Oh,
Surprised you fell asleep looking at the 5 packets on the floor.
No. After I got up, I mugged the rest of them.
I was
You should
wondering if Doc Ock was gonna have like his own little mini coffee grinder for the morning, and he was like, there was a grinding sound, but it was just him.
That
Yeah.
he absolutely should.
Yeah. A little espresso machine. Yeah, I guess in the more, as everyone's kind of, getting ready, Doc is going to nicely roll up his sleeping bag and attach it to his backpack and make sure it's all nice and ready. Is there anything, do we see any evidence outside of whatever passed in the night?
none.
So
think-
just like swept up behind it.
Well, I mean there's no like indentations in the grass or anything. Nothing appears to be tore up. And the whole area is pretty overgrown.
Maybe it's a friendly junk monster.
Okay, well, on that thought, are we going in the mine or are we going back? Third option, we could go around the mine and see if the weird bathroom teleportation barrier is still there.
Yeah.
I say we go through the mine.
Yeah.
We came all this way. We should go reluctantly.
Doc, have you been in the mine?
I have not been in the mine. I am alone, and I didn't want to die. But I've just been kind of checking out this administration office. Is there like, Jason, is there like a computer or anything functioning or anything that I made function?
I mean, there was a computer. There were probably a couple computers here. I mean, they are non-functional now. Like, there's no power to this area.
So,
God, could you imagine if there was power, how long the update would be?
So I'm gonna say that like in the days that I've been here, then I would have taken apart the computer and like taken the hard drive of every computer.
Sure.
But Doc, so you're scared to go anywhere by yourself. So again, I ask, how did you get here?
I drove.
What happened to the people who were with you?
There was nobody with me.
Why weren't you scared to go by yourself then?
There wasn't a mine, so
Why don't you just turn around and leave the way you came?
I got this stuff from the computer.
That wasn't what I asked you.
I got all this stuff.
You just seem very suspicious. You're just a guy that appears in the middle of the zone. You say you drove here. Where's your car? You say you're scared to go anywhere. How'd you get here then?
So you can see my car if you want.
Show me your car, Doc.
Yeah, so I will take everybody to my pristine Ford Pinto. It's in immaculate condition. It's got like an 8-track player that works, and just a bunch of junk that just looks like I've just been tinkering with everything, just picking up random parts or trash, just hanging on to it. So you know those people that you drive past on the street and their car is like full of McDonald's wrappers and bags of nothing? It's not like that. It's like messy, but it doesn't look like garbage. And the car is in like immaculate condition. Just looks amazing for a Ford Pinto.
Well, Rick, when was the last time you checked on your car?
The day before.
Okay. And I'm curious, how did you get your car into the zone?
I'm a great driver.
No, but specifically, how did you get your car into the zone?
I'm specifically like magic. I'm a great driver, so I got in my car and then I drove here.
The road in would have been checkpointed.
So I know people who didn't have issues with me driving my car into the zone. I'm connected.
Are you?
I'm connected enough.
I think that's a skill. That's a zone skill, right?
Yeah. Well, it would be more along the lines of charisma ability.
Like, I guess without saying too much, like I work places where it wouldn't be an issue.
Okay.
When you show me your car, I go to the window, the driver's side window, and look in, and then you kind of hear me curse under my breath and stand back up.
What kind of car was it again?
A Pinto.
A Ford Pinto.
Oh.
Yeah.
I walk away. I'm like, it's a stick.
Can't drive a stick, Mike?
No, I was gonna get a free car, but I've only seen one of those like 3 times because I'm 22.
It doesn't have keyless ignition, like.
I swear to God, guys, I have a cousin who he just turned 19, but like last year he was watching Back to the Future for the first time, and he messaged me. He was like, "Hey, in this one scene, what's this lever that Marty reaches down and pulls?" And I'm like, "Wait, what?" He's like, when he says, "Let's see if you bastards can do 90," he reaches down and moves a lever. I was like, "Oh my God."
That's what we call a downshift.
Yeah.
This guy has a driver's license too.
Oh
Yeah.
my.
Well, I think it's something like only 3% of vehicles now are made with stick shift.
Yeah.
Or 3 or
Yeah.
6%.
Yeah.
I know it's
Like-
not his fault, but like,
Right.
yeah.
But no, it's I mean it's up there with like the save icon being a floppy disk.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I mean, who uses floppy disks anymore?
I could if I wanted to. There's probably some in this closet.
I couldn't. There's no floppy disk drive in this thing. I don't even have a CD drive in this thing.
Yep.
But yeah, so you all have seen Rick's car. It's definitely, I mean, if you knew the history of it, you probably wouldn't want to drive it anyway.
Mm. All right. So I guess the question is, do we want to check out that ore building before we go into the mine, or do we just head straight into the mine?
Is there any reason why you think there would be something interesting in the ore building? Because our mission is on the other side of the barrier. So.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like whatever we come back this way.
I say we just go in the mine. I don't like. I want to get there and get done with the job. I want to do side quests.
But that's where all the best magic items are, on the side quests.
It's like, I'm sorry, Doc, magic items?
Yeah. Yeah.
He means zone artifacts.
Yeah. No. Literally, I mean, at that point, I break out my player's handbook and Dungeon Master's Guide, because I do have the nerd skill. It's like, yeah, see, like usually the Dungeon Master places side quests along the way for where you can like get the better treasure to help you out at the final mission.
I'm leaning over to Senzara and I say, should we just leave these two and go?
I know, I'm looking over at you as you lean in. I'm like, what in the heck is he talking about?
I don't know, but he's clearly a drug addict, and this other one is crazy. I think the two of them can talk to each other forever. We can just go do the mission.
Let's go. I've got your back, Mike.
All right.
I'll keep an eye on each of these guys for you as well.
All right. Well, we're heading to the tunnel.
All right. Now that Dr. Octavian got them to go first, he'll follow behind.
And Rick will follow next to Doc Ock and just be like, "Oh my gosh, like I have that book too," and like we can just like flip through our favorite pages or whatever.
Looking over at Mike again, it's like the term Dungeon Master means something completely different. I think they realize.
Yeah, I know. I have one, but not from that book. We go into the tunnel, and I'll have my rifle out. Yeah, Mike dropped that. Yeah.
So yeah, that's. I mean, it's at least the entrance to the mine is really well lit. But do y'all what are you all using for
light?
What are you lighting your way with once you get in?
Oh, that's
those electric torches.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would say that I've made headlamps. So like in the past I've made some headlamps out of flashlights and belt, I guess.
That fits. Do you just have one of those for yourself?
So I'll put mine on, and then if everybody else just stares at me, then I don't know. I guess I'll put one on, and then we'll see what the reaction is.
If Senzara has more than one electric torch, I will tape one to the rifle.
You have tape?
No, but I'm sure Doc has plenty of duct tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Dr. Octavian has got the electronic torch in one hand and his Geiger counter out with the other.
Okay.
Oh, he's finally put down the PHP?
Yeah. He's going to maximize his passive perception.
Okay.
So I'll pull another headlamp out of my pocket and give it to Doc Ock and be like, "Here, free up your other hand."
All right, so yeah, Dr. Octavian will put the headlamp on, but then still keep the flashlight, so he'll have now double the light.
Okay. So just in like a little ways inside, there is what used to be a elevator. There's an elevator shaft going down, but next to that there is an emergency stairwell that you can take if you want to go down. further into the mine.
Oh, so the only option is down. There's no tunnel where we're at. This is pretty.
It doesn't keep going straight.
Yeah.
It goes straight into
That shaft.
elevator. Elevator goes down, but there's an emergency stairwell next to the elevator.
Well, we can use the highly dangerous elevator that hasn't been kept up in 13 years, or the narrow, confined stairway.
Well, we've seen no sign of electricity being powered in here, right?
Yeah, no, there's... From everything you've seen, everything is powered down.
If I know one thing about elevators, it's that there is no spoon.
Yeah. I mean, like, just to see how far down the shaft goes, I'll just like kick some dirt down the shaft to see.
Yeah, I mean, you kick some dirt, it falls down into the dark, and you don't actually hear it hit.
Excuse me.
I mean, it's not like some heavy dirt to make a lot of noise.
Fine,
From the light,
yeah.
it seems to go down a few stories.
Okay.
I guess we're taking the stairs. Unless anyone has, like, rappelling equipment.
Actually.
Okay, we're taking the stairs.
I do have climbing equipment.
Okay. Well, you want to rig up Dr. Fred?
Dangling down like a worm on a hook? Sure.
No. I'll take the stairs. I'll take the stairs.
Well, I'll take the stairs.
All right. I have finally taken off my sunglasses, by the way, now that we're in the cave.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably helpful.
Yeah, I didn't take them off at night, but I will take them off in the mine.
And I'm imagining, Fred Octavian's Geiger counter is like actually sort of passively beeping like the motion detector from Aliens, right? Just sort of
Yeah. As you start to descend, you start to get a faint beep. Beep.
Uh-oh.
I mean, it's more like Geiger counter is going to be more like a cricket noise, but
right. Mm-hmm.
But it's really faint. Do y'all mind taking break now?
No, that's good.
Okay, thank you.
All right. We'll be back in 10. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If anyone is still watching, we'll see you then.
Welcome back.
Woo!
All right. So you all are descending this emergency stairwell. It's outside, like it's maybe about 4 or 5 stories down. It's a pretty deep mine. Actually, I have no idea if that's deep for a mine or not, but it seems deep to me.
And to us.
Cool. You get to the bottom, and there's the shaft going basically straight ahead. Excuse me. You do see. Would you see? Yeah, F it. There's a glowing up ahead on the left. And as you move, I'm going to assume you're moving forward. As you move forward, you see that this is actually a branching path that has a yellow green glow to it. There is the primary shaft, like tunnel shaft that continues straight. Then there's this glowing branch to the left. Oh, Oh, I thought I was a little more awake than this. Yeah. As you near this branch, Doc, or God, you both have to be Docs. Doc Fred, your Geiger counter starts picking up a little bit.
Okay. On the glowy path, I'm assuming.
And you wave it. You wave it a bit, or you wave the. This take a wand, right?
Right.
Yeah, like the wand. Wait. The Geiger counter is a two-handed item.
Is it? Let's see.
What the other hand was just the flashlight, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm.
No, the game. Well, yeah, you can have true. If you want to get close to certain things, you can like.
Yeah, because don't they have?
Zero in.
Yeah, but it would have like a thing to like stick that on, wouldn't it?
Right,
So, like,
right. So like if you're walking around, you could just hold it as a portable detector.
Yeah.
But like I wanted to like detect something like
specific. You
right,
detach the wand and get it like.
right.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's there. There was a definite radiation uptick coming from this glowing area, this glowing branched path. As you're detecting that, a couple things happen.
Oh.
One, you hear a metal clanging sound. It sounds like it's well back up the elevator shaft. It's hard to make out from where you are now, like with echoes and whatnot. You can't tell if it's footsteps or if something like dropped onto something. But there seems to be a metallic clanging coming from from behind you. As that happens, at least Dr. Fred notices that there is shadowy movement in the glowing tunnel, the glowing tunnel branch that you've just come to.
All right. So we've got radiation in front of us, and we've got unknown an organism behind us.
Well, you've got something clanging behind you, and you've got radiation and movement to your left, and then you've got the main tunnel straight ahead.
Dr. Octavian's going to start heading down the main tunnel past the green radiation zone. Guys, I think we should move.
Oh, your Geiger counter. Should we be concerned?
Not unless we go down that tunnel. And I point to the glowing one.
And as you point to the glowing, I'm just going to narrate a bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
You point at it, just not thinking with the Geiger counter, and the Geiger counter starts clicking more. It's the radiation is coming towards you, seemingly.
Guys?
It's maybe Spider-Man?
That's not good. And then I'm gonna start running down the tunnel.
Not faster than me.
Is there any visible way to collapse this tunnel, like a boarded structure? It's probably a modern mine.
We're in it.
Well, this side passage.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, do you have any like dynamite or anything?
No.
I have a Ford Pinto.
No, you don't. It didn't fit in the hallway, the tunnel. I mean, we have probably some ammunition, 3 people's worth of it, but we probably shouldn't use it to collapse a tunnel.
Yeah, we'll move down the tunnel and watch for whatever it is to come out, I guess, and prepare fire.
Like, so Doc Fred, you're running down this tunnel?
I mean, not in a like panicky state, but like the sort of hustle, you know.
Like, would you say more of a power walk than a
Yeah,
run?
I was exactly gonna say like
Okay.
a power walk.
Are you all? Are the rest of you following?
No, I'm in front of him. I have fast and tireless.
I will follow behind, but I'll let some distance build between us because I kind of want to keep an eye on that branching tunnel and see what comes out.
Okay. So is Senzara gonna be basically walking backwards?
I'm not so much backward, just kind of like looking back over her shoulder.
Okay.
So it's not, yeah, but
Okay. Rick Doc Rick.
So
How are you reacting?
I have night vision. So is that giving me any extra insight into what is either behind us or down that shaft?
That's a really good question.
I have that as well, so I have it open. It says Stalker sees well even in dim light and is good at discerning movement. Complete darkness is still black, but at night starlight or city lights reflecting off clouds are enough.
Okay.
And then I also have sharp eyes, which I think lets me see things that other people don't see. But if Steve has that up, maybe he can.
Yeah, I have that as well. We have excellent eyesight and can not only distinguish details from long distance, but can also spot out details from a larger scene, making visual search for things easier.
What are you looking for?
Either the loud clanking thing, if there's any chance that we can see what it is now, since it's coming from where we were, and then also, like you say that the hallway has like a dim glow to it, and that there may be something coming.
Yeah, so there was a branching path from the main shaft. The main shaft isn't glowing, but this branching path is glowing, and assuming you were all looking down it with Doc Fred, you would have seen like shadows start to move deeper into that path and move towards you.
Yeah, if things are moving towards us, then with these two skills or whatever, like does it give Mike or myself any better insight into what is coming towards us?
I'm not looking. I went with Fred.
Well, okay. Sorry, I'm trying to wrap my head around how this scene is going for everyone. Doc Rick, are you moving away yet, or are you waiting and watching?
Like, I would say when all this started happening is when I would have started looking for it.
Okay, so let's say when this happened, you wouldn't be able to see anything back from where you came. It's still mostly dark. The light from your lanterns, you could see it like vaguely, but there's nothing there yet. You don't discern any movement or anything else that direction. You've got good vision and like a decent sense of it. So yeah, it looks to try and better describe this, it looks like this branching path has a number of branching paths itself. And that's where the shadow movement is coming from, but none of what is casting the shadows has shown themselves in what you can see yet. Did that make sense?
Yes, you told me that I can't see anything.
Well, no, I mean you can see what's going on. I'm just not like. Are you gonna wait and see?
Is there somewhere that I can hide behind and turn off my headlamp?
Jason, we didn't hear your answer.
No, that's I was. There's nothing really to like. What would you be hiding behind?
Like if there's other branching pathways in any other direction that you could like sneak behind a corner of to see what might come up out of these other areas.
At least as far as where you are now, this is the only branching path you've seen.
Okay,
do you want to go further in and see if there are more?
Yeah, so like not further into the radiation, but like
not into the radiation, but further down the main shaft.
Yeah, so I would say that I'm not running, but like I'm behind everybody else because I'm like trying to keep my eye on all of it, but I'm also looking for a place where I can stop. Not like where I can potentially see what's coming.
Okay, no, that's okay. I gotcha. I hope. Yeah. So it's gonna be a ways down. Like maybe like honestly like 2-3 minutes of not running but power walking into this main shaft. You do see there's another cave that branches off to the right, but this one doesn't have any glow to it.
And is anybody else like within signaling? Like, can I signal to Sinzar or Mike or Doc Ock to follow me down this way? Have I sped walk enough to catch up with?
Oh yeah, you could I'm assuming they would let you catch up with them. Do you?
Yeah, Dr. Octavian was going to keep that pace until the glowing green stuff was out of sight. So the question is, does the glowing green follow us in any way, or does it just slowly fade into the background?
So yeah, you've made it like a decent way into this mine shaft. I'd say like about the time you all discover this other branching path or this other little cavelet that's coming off of the main shaft, the glowing that you passed is definitely receding into the distance behind you.
Has the Geiger counter like calmed down?
The Geiger counter has calmed down a little bit. But Steve, what kind of visual abilities do you have?
I have night vision and sharp eyes, just like Doc Green. I also have, it's not exactly a vision ability, but I have sixth sense in my zone abilities, and which is more instinct for zone crap. Depending on why you're asking, reflexes might be relevant. But those are my 3 alertness abilities: night vision, sharp eyes, and reflexes.
Senzara and Doc Fred, do you have any like ocular or perceptive abilities that might come into play here?
Sixth sense.
Just my flashlight and my Geiger detector.
Okay. Well, other than the sixth sense abilities, which I didn't remember about and would have had, going off with regards to the previous path, the glowing path. Because your sixth sense would have been saying, yeah, this is probably not a good place to go.
My common sense said that.
Yeah. Yeah, but your sixth sense would have said it in a way that says, hey, this isn't just dangerous, this is weird zone shit dangerous.
All right.
Yeah, so
I know. If we're taking a breather, Doc Ock's going to take out his compass and make sure, in the sort of running down the tunnel, like, are we still kind of heading towards the direction of the barrier that we're trying to traverse?
Okay. Let me come back to you on that.
Okay.
Like, put a pin in that.
Yep.
Yeah, so Doc Green, Rick Doc, you had wanted to do something when you found like some cover.
Yes. I'm just trying to see what's potentially following us. Like, are we still hearing the metallic sound? If the Geiger counter is calmed down, like, is there still something following us?
Okay, you can still hear a faint echo of the metallic clanking sound. The Geiger counter has calmed down, but not entirely. It's not back to the quiet chirping it was doing when you were coming down the elevator shaft. But it's not getting as excited as it was when you were at the mouth of that glowing cave. You had said something about turning your headlamp off and getting a look back down the corridor. Or back down the mine shaft.
Yeah, so essentially, like, if something's following us, I wanted to get ahead of it, get out of the way, and then make myself not seen so that I could try to figure out what was following us.
Like, did you communicate that to everyone else?
I think if I've convinced some people to go down this other branching pathway, then anybody who came with me that way, I'd be like, I'm trying to see what that was.
Okay. Are any of you... So, who is going to continue down the main shaft, and who is going to duck aside with Rick?
Well, I will continue down whatever path heads us in the direction of the town. So if that's the main shaft, Doc Ock is going to vote to go down the main shaft. But at the same time, if it seems like more people want to do something else, Doc Ock is not going to go by himself because he is a coward.
Okay.
I pause and I kind of like, Rick, don't stop. You should come with us. And just kind of like move off a little further and kind of like try and beckon him on. Whatever it is dangerous.
Leave him. That guy's crazy. He lives in the office.
It was just 3 days.
Uh-huh.
And after attempting to draw him out and with us, I move on with the others.
Okay.
In other words, screw you, Rick.
But looking back,
So,
taking
Doc
cautious
Fred.
steps forward and looking back, like.
So, Doc Fred, you're going to continue on with Mike and Senzara? Or are you staying with Rick?
Are you asking me?
No, I'm asking Doc Fred.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sorry. So who's going down the main path?
So
Everyone
right now,
else.
Yeah.
I've got Mike and Senzara continuing down the main mine shaft.
Yeah.
And Rick is
I got it now.
branching off to try and get a look behind to see if anything is still following you.
Yep, got it. So the question is then, which way is the compass pointing, or is it pointing in any direction?
What kind of compass is it again?
Regular compass. So it's just affected by magnetic fields.
Okay, so yeah, it is literally giving you jack and shit.
Gotcha. Just doing the spin. Okay.
Like it's not spinning. It'll lock onto something, and then you'll take a couple steps, and then it'll turn, and then you'll take a couple steps, and then it'll point back the way you came.
Got it. All right. I'll put the compass away, and then I'm booking after Sinzara and Mike.
Yeah.
Okay. So you all are continuing down the main mine shaft. Rick, sorry, I am losing my words. You cut off to hide in this cavelet.
Mm-hmm.
As everyone else keeps going, you click your headlamp off and look back out into the darkness behind you. You can still you can see with your lamp out. You can better see the glow from that other set of caves. And in that glow, you see multiple shapes start to, I want to say spill out, but I don't like spill out as a verb here. Just multiple shapes start to shuffle out. And it looks like they're following you. Or at least following the direction away from the elevator shaft down the primary mine shaft.
Are they humanoid at all? Do they have a shape?
You can't really tell from here. Yeah.
How fast are they moving?
A moderate shuffle. At least for now. Do you want to wait for them to get closer?
I feel like the night vision and the sharp eyes would let me see what I'm looking like, see if they have shape or anything before they got so close that I couldn't get away from them.
Okay, no, I see what you're putting down. It takes about it. Do you want to wait until you can decently see them clearly?
I guess I would say that I want to wait until I see whether or not there's some kind of threat. So aside from the fact that these things were radiated, I'm trying to get a good idea of what they are. Like, is there a chance that these are like people or some kind of mutant, whatever?
Okay. I mean, so yeah, about halfway between where, no, I mean, like, maybe not quite, like, less than halfway between, sorry. Describing distance is eluding me. Before they reach the halfway point between where they started and where you are, you were able to make out that these seem to be some real shaggy looking things, shuffling along the mine shaft. There's, at least from what you can see right now, or at least there are, it seems like there's between like 4 and 6 of them. And that, like, you're in it, like, that's not that your eyesight can't tell. It's that there's a couple times you try counting them, and you get to about 4 or 5, and then you think you see another one, but then you don't see that one. But then one of the ones you had counted before is gone, and then the one that you thought you saw was there. So they are difficult to pin down, at least numbers wise, but they're kind of hunched over, shaggy, apparently bipedal, possibly semi-bipedal. Some of them seem to be dragging their hands on the ground, like just long hair, just all down.
They're like Schrodinger's gorillas.
I mean, 6 of one, like, sorta, but less like furry and more like almost Cousin It-y.
Sounds like a bunch of the Ring monsters.
Okay, I see where you could get that. Yeah, I can see that. They just don't walk quite as weird.
So I will hastily make my way further down the mine shaft in an effort to find my 3 deserters.
Hey, Sinzara gave you a shot.
I gave you guys a shot. So I'll run back that way towards them, and yeah, I mean, I will go fast enough to where if they are still speed walking, should be able to catch up with them. Hopefully I don't get lost.
You should not have a problem getting lost. They are not really difficult to find, as you can. Do you turn your headlamp back on when you set out back after them?
If I know the direction that they went and they still have their lights on, then maybe I could just see that, depending on how far ahead of me they are.
You can see them. They're distant, but not so far that you can't, I mean, easily make out their like their light shining on the cavern walls.
Mm-hmm.
So then,
yeah,
I will run up to them and inform them that we have to go back.
As you're running up to us, I hear the scattering of rocks under your feet, and there's no light. So I like bring my flashlight up in your face and like, hold right there. Startled at your appearance.
You would be startled at my appearance, yeah.
Even more so after she sees it.
Yeah.
yes.
In this light, you look horrible, buddy.
It's any light. I'm used to it. So I will let them know that there is some fluid, people-like looking things shuffling towards us, but they're pretty far back there. And then I'll ask if any of them are positive that there's an exit on this side of the mine shaft.
There was one on the map. I do have the Pathfinder Zone ability, which will not tell me about an exit that I've never seen before, but it does mean I will know whether we're still going the right direction. In fact, it specifically calls out being in a dark tunnel. I will not get lost.
You're like a dwarf.
A little
No,
bit.
that's
Underground source.
I mean, according to Mike, it sounds like it. Mike, you've got the feeling that the primary mine shaft here is going the same, is leading towards that exit on the closer to the 161.
Okay, let me bring the map back up. See, we are currently at dotted line, and we're trying to get to filled in circle thing.
Okay.
And like somewhere in between that, like I think if like I remember correctly, it was somewhere from like the A or L of volcanic across that dotted line up through the mountains was this invisible field that Mike and Kanzara had actually walked through and disappeared into.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the idea. Is the question is, and I guess the thing we don't know is if we're ever hitting that barrier, or if we're just like keep repeating and going back through the tunnel.
Good point, Doc. Does anybody have any chalk we can mark our progress on the wall?
No, I don't. But I do have some. I do have some pain medication that I can sort of use as chalk and rub one of the pills up against the wall.
And Mike, didn't you say it's some spray paint last time? I thought somebody had some spray paint.
No, I asked about spray paint, but nobody had any.
Oh, okay.
Oh, don't want to huff paint, man. That'll mess with your mind as he pops a painkiller.
Is this like an old Westy type of mine where there's wooden supports every so often? If so, we can carve markings with my Bowie knife.
I'm going to say this is a more contemporary mine, but you would find regular buttressing that you could mark up.
Okay.
Or we could stack rocks like I was so
Even
intent on last time.
Even if the buttresses are metal, we could scratch them.
Yeah. Make a small pile of rocks in the corner.
As you're having this conversation, you hear a loud gun. Obviously, it's loud. You hear a gunshot go off, or multiple gunshots go off back the way you came. Almost immediately after those gunshots, you hear those gunshots, just a loud, just keening, and the whole mine starts to tremble for a minute.
Ooh.
You know which way I think we should go? Forward.
Yes.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
Marshal forward.
Someone is keeping the weird monsters busy for us, so let's us go the other way.
Somebody else apparently is on the same path as us.
Yep.
Rick.
Those gunshots.
If Rick was here, surely there are others.
I hope they don't run out of bullets before we make it to the exit.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah, that's the. I mean, what might have felt like a mini quake dies off really quick.
Okay.
You can still hear general struggling noises coming vaguely back the way you came. You all keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah, you keep moving forward. Those noises eventually quiet, and soon after, yeah, you. How long? Yeah, soon after you come to the exit of this mine. It's kind of coming out the side of a hill, and all around you, you see just plains kind of off in the distance ahead of you, in the, let's say, moonlight. You see what looks like the reflection off of a paved road. which you would assume is that
161.
161 highway there, as marked.
Okay. Yeah, and it's still daytime, you said?
No, it is still nighttime.
It took
No,
us...
you went in the daytime.
Yep.
Oh my god, I have no sense of time.
Yeah, we went in first thing in the morning.
Could still be night.
Yeah, no. So yeah, when you got to that exit, yeah, it's really obviously the exit because the sun is pouring into it.
Okay.
And as you walk out, you kind of it takes a second for your eyes to adjust. Not that long because you've had some time to adjust anyway, but yeah, then you easily see this field sprawling out around you and the road just down a ways.
Okay.
Sorry.
Feeling the warmth of the sun, I kind of hold my head back and take a deep breath of the fresh air and say, thank goodness we're out of that.
Yep, but now we're in this. I guess what I'd like to do, if no one else has any other ideas, is go back to throwing my little nuts on a string and try and get to the road without any more mishaps.
Yeah.
All right, Mike, lead the way.
Okay. So can I make it to the road in this fashion?
Yes. Are you going just trying to beeline down to the road?
I am going a little bit. I know the map is kind of cockeyed. I am going a little bit west. I'm trying to head back towards Volcanic
so you're
Legacy
going
Byway.
a little down.
Yeah, a little down because I know that we have to go that way anyway in order to get where we're going.
And eventually intercept the road.
Okay, so you're all heading a little down and to the right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you were able to make it. It takes a little while, but not that long. Like not nearly as long as the mine shaft took, but you've also got better view of what's going on here, and there seems to be less weirdness right here.
All right.
Yeah, so you're able to make it. You make it to the road. From there, you honestly are able to make it back down to the byway.
Okay.
And yeah, you back down into the byway. No trouble making it down that way past this lake through the mountain pass and into Lower Klamath. Yeah.
Mia took notes. Remind me what spot specifically we're supposed to be getting to find this guy's path for him. Is there a building or something we're looking for?
I don't have any specifics, just trip to Lower Klamath.
Okay. Well, we're here.
We found a semi-safe path. Maybe safer now.
What sort of part of town are we in? Would you say we're in a residential area or like when we first enter the town like this?
Well, you know what, Mike? I'm probably not nearly as... God, I can't even remember phrases. As intimately familiar with Lower Klamath as yourself.
Yeah.
So coming from this direction, like what part of town does this road lead in? Does the byway lead into?
We are in like a residential area, but it's more like the Lower Klamath version of the good neighborhood, the upper class area.
Okay. Yeah, so that's, you see the, like, just the dilapidated remains of just, not fields, because there's not that many of them. Just the dilapidated remains of the McMansions that had been built here.
Okay.
Mike, was this the neighborhood you came from?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
It's too nice.
Yeah, in fact, I'm going to say to these guys, he wanted us to get to Lower Klamath. This is kind of the outskirts. I don't think there's anything here he'd want. If we want to make sure we get the job done, we've got to get in towards the middle of town more.
Okay, so yeah, let me try and give you a bit more of an idea of what you're going into. So around you here are just, like I said, dilapidated remains of McMansions. As you look further south, you're going to see it gets maybe a little more trailer parky. Everything looks just like I mean, on like third thought, as you're carefully walking into town, the word dilapidated doesn't really describe what you're looking at. At least out here, everything looks just like half melted.
Oh.
Like almost like these buildings were made out of candle wax and then, exposed to a decent heat over a while. You see further into town, because I'm going to say this is more of a descending sort of slope road going into town. There's, at this point, there's some fields of like former trailer parks with just rocks jutting out of them.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Further into town, Mike, you would know is the main drag, like commercial district area where you can't really see it from here, but that would be where like a lot of shops are, where banking would be.
Well, what I'm looking for is not trailer park, but a step up maybe.
Yeah, then out from around, like out past that a bit would be, or maybe almost not encircling, but like kind of horseshoeing around that area is going to be more residential, but this would be more of the worker residential.
All right. Well,
and you can't even see that from here. Like even with y'all's eagle eyes, it's far off and kind of blurry. Actually, some of you might be able to see it, but yeah, fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you get a look through your scope or binoculars. The central part of town, that commercial district, looks like it's untouched.
Oh.
Like there's no people there, but it still looks like it's in unnaturally good condition. For the people who have scopes and binoculars, but what's the magnification on those?
Oh.
I don't know a good answer to that question.
Yeah. Was it in
All
the?
right, so
I'll say like 4
Yes.
times.
The scope,
Okay,
yeah, you'd be
that's-
able to see a good 1,000 yards.
yeah, I'm just thinking more like the other end of town is going to be a few miles off,
Yeah, like I have a scope,
and I
but
haven't
it's
used
not like a
binoculars in like over 20 years.
yeah, it's not like a high-end sniper rifle. It's just it's just an old hunting rifle.
Yeah,
Doc,
but I mean,
Doc Ock may have bought the high end one.
I was about to say, but my binoculars are clearly the best. But I'm trying to remember what they say.
no, I mean I'm trying to think of what the working class residential areas would like. They look run down, but kind of normal. They look about Detroit, like the more rundown areas of Detroit right now.
Gotcha.
It's overgrown.
Unkempt.
That's a good word for them.
Nature's
I don't see
reclaiming it.
anything too out of the ordinary from here.
So at this point, Mike is just going to speak up and say, "All right, guys," and I'm going to point out towards my neighborhood. I've got to get to my house. It's over there. You guys can go back and get paid, or you can come with me. Do what
Well,
you want.
I'm coming with you, Mike. And see you safely return to our goat sucker patron.
I'm more looking curious, kind of disappointed. Haven't found any nice relics yet. So Dr. Octavian is going to follow, seeing this as an opportunity to potentially get some more relics.
All right. Doc Green.
Yeah, I'll go too. I literally have nothing else to do.
All right.
Gonna say the town center being suspiciously whole could
Yeah.
be behind one of those warp bubbles that we bumped into before.
I've been trying to get here for 13 years. This is the closest I've ever gotten by a lot.
To your house, huh? Maybe we can find some mementos of your family, pictures and such.
I'm not looking for mementos.
Oh, what?
Looking for mementos.
Looking for something specific.
Yep.
Okay.
So, are we able to make it there without incident? Like, what are we encountering as we pass through the town?
So as you pass through the town, Doc Fred, your Giger counter is going to go off a little bit with the upper class neighborhood.
Okay.
But it seems to quiet down by the time you get towards the
Where the poors live.
no, well, as you hit the oh god, what are the things?
Railroad tracks.
No, this is California. We don't have railroad tracks here.
Talking about the train used to wake me up 3 times a night in Simi Valley.
We used to.
Series of really obnoxious speed bumps.
No, that would be Simi Valley.
Yeah.
That would be the Man Shopping Plaza.
Oh yeah.
Those are the
Housewives
train
out
tracks.
jogging.
No, it quiets down by the time you get to the trailer parks.
Okay. Well, I know this area pretty well. I was a kid with a certain degree of freedom because my parents trusted me to know what I was doing. So I know exactly how to get to my house. Even though it has been 13 years since I've done it. What's going on there?
Well, I mean, the closer you get to your house, the Geiger counter doesn't go off more, but there is definitely a low buzzing noise that's there is a weird electrical, like you get down into your neighborhood, but when you get there, you notice that in the power lines, there is just there's an electrical like orb that is just flowing around the power lines. Sometimes jumping them.
Well, just because there's nothing that makes any more sense than this, I'm gonna load and cock the rifle.
Okay.
And I'm gonna carefully proceed towards my home.
Like, how deep into the like middle class, working class residential area is your home? Or your old home?
2 blocks.
Is that like deep into, or still towards the edge?
It's somewhere between those two things, I would say. I mean, if I were to keep walking, there would be many more blocks, but 2 blocks, make it 3. 3 blocks is. I'm imagining such neighborhoods that I know in real life and where people I know live, and that's not super relevant to you guys, but yeah, like
the thing is, I'm doing likewise and remembering that this is a small town.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be as big as all that.
Yeah, well, I think
3 blocks can be a decent amount of.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like 3 blocks, and you're well into the neighborhood. Like I wouldn't call it outskirts. Like.
Okay. Well, let's. Like, what did your old house? Like, what sort of house did you live in when you lived out here?
It was obviously a small house. It had probably 3 bedrooms coming off one hallway, a living room, a kitchen, and that's about it.
Okay.
1 bathroom.
On the way there is an opportunity to look in the windows of any other buildings, or is Mike hustling, drawing us forward?
I mean, I'm going carefully, but I'm not slowing down either. Like I'm pretty close to my goal here.
Well, what's Senzara looking? Is Senzara looking for anything in these other houses?
Nothing in particular, just to see if there's any like remains or other sorts of things, creature-wise. Make sure we're not getting jumped on the way there.
No, you don't. You know, I want to say you don't see anything out of the ordinary, but I mean, this whole thing feels like you have that 6th sense, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this whole thing feels out of the ordinary.
Well, again, keeping up with Mike. If there's nothing of like any interest, then yeah, definitely not stopping.
Okay. So yeah, you definitely find your house, and what are you doing with your house?
Is the door closed or open?
Closed.
I'm gonna walk up to it, and I'm gonna hesitate before touching the doorknob with all this electrical hum around. I'm going to take a step back, lift up the old lucky boots, and plant a nice kick next to the doorknob, see if I can kick it in.
Which way does this door open, Mike?
Well, it's a front door, so it swings in.
Okay. Then, yeah, you're able to give it a good, solid boot, and it just, I mean, it pretty much just crumples in. I mean, this is California fucking housing.
Yeah.
Like, use real fucking doors.
I mean, it's very nearly Oregon, but yeah, I'm heading
True.
in. I'm heading in and looking around the place. Is there anything alive in here, or any semblance of alive?
Nothing. You don't see anything alive. You see lots of cobwebbing that you just, your general sense of the zone is telling you to just avoid. Including where are you going in your house?
I'm going to look around. When I come in, I imagine the door probably comes into the living room.
Yeah.
And I'm going to lean over to peer towards the kitchen. If I see no one there, I'm going to turn to the hallways.
Let me throw down like a brief, simple description.
Yeah.
Going into the front door, living room, bedrooms and bathroom are going to be off to the left.
Okay.
There's a hallway off to the left. Kitchen is going to be back around to the right, essentially like right next to where the front door is.
Copy. Then I'll head to the kitchen if it's closer and just glance in, not expecting to see anyone. And then assuming I don't, then I will head to the bedroom hallway.
You don't see anyone in the kitchen. Everything looks pretty disheveled. Like it's been sitting here for over a decade.
Okay.
When you turn back to the hallway leading deeper into the bedroom area, it is just covered in this cobwebbing that your sense of the zone is telling you to just avoid. You don't want to interact with this.
I have to. Does anyone have a lighter?
Dr. Octavian does.
Yeah, sure.
Doc, go light those cobwebs on fire.
Yeah, you go close, Doc. You first.
Which doc are you asking to do this?
I don't care, but the one with the lighter. See, it's for science.
Docs.
Doc Fred.
Did either of you take Sixth Sense?
No.
I'm going to break a piece of wood off and wrap it in some old dry cloth and like, here, light this. And then that way you don't have to get too close.
Sure, I'll light it, but I make no movement to grab said impromptu torch.
Like
Like
I put a
clearly
hand on,
lights it from afar and then like backs away.
like, hold on, Doc. I put a hand on Mike's shoulder. It's like, you sure you want to do this?
I'm going to take the torch and toss it into the cobwebs.
And take a couple quick steps back to the edge of the room.
Gun
in the
raised,
opposite direction.
stepping back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So who specifically is tossing this torch into the cobwebs?
Mike,
Not
Marathon Corps.
Okay. Well, Mike, you toss that torch through the cobweb, what looked like cobwebbing, and as it passes through, the cobwebbing just dissipates, and just the sound of a faint tinkling of broken glass.
The hallway looks
the torch
clear.
lands beyond and smolders on the ground, smolders on the floor.
Does the hallway appear to be clear now?
The blockage, there's still some of this weird webbing, but the main blockage at the head of the hallway is gone.
I'm going to take a cautious step towards it, but not actually go in the hallway yet. And I'm just going to call forward. Hello? No answer?
What happened to the torch?
It's just on the ground, right? Just smoldering?
It's on the ground. If you leave it there long enough, it'll probably start a fire.
No response to my call?
Your call, the only response you get to that call is silence.
I'm going to have to go in the hallway.
With my knowledge of inorganisms, would I know whether or not they would ever answer the call?
I'm not talking to the cobwebs.
Give me a quick sec.
All right.
Doc Ock has taken a lot of pills, so maybe he's talking to the cobwebs.
Let's pick up that torch and maybe burn some more of these cobwebs off. How about that?
Hey, Chavez, we're in the spirit world.
You see the size of that chicken?
Chicken? Yes.
Where was the thing I wanted? Ugh.
While you're looking for that, I did look at, again, looking at the player's guide, how helpful and unhelpful it is sometimes. So binoculars, you were asking for their strength. It says traditional binoculars. Thank you. But then it goes into great detail of you can permanently blind yourself by looking into the sun.
Well, yeah, sure. As you do.
You can do that without binoculars.
Right, like, we won't tell you how good at amplifying the light is, but we'll just remind you that if you look at the sun, you may permanently blind yourself. So
Forget the binoculars. I'll use a magnifying glass to look at the sun instead.
Right.
Outstanding.
Oh, where was the damn thing I wanted?
What's it called, Jason? We could look it up in the PDF real fast.
I don't remember.
That makes it more difficult.
Yeah. I'd swear it's really early in the goddamn Game Master's book.
Here it is, talking cobwebs.
No, they're not talking cobwebs. Ugh. You know, oh.
Did we lose the Kenny demographic? Oh, he's back.
Oh, sorry.
Okie doke. Ken?
Yes.
Did you DM me your character sheet?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a sec.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I could tell you what skills I have.
No, I'm looking at them right now.
Okay.
Okay, do you all mind me rewinding a little bit?
Go for it.
Before you threw that torch through those webs?
Sure.
Okay, cool. Because both your doctors here recognize them as silverweb, which is it's a silvery growth that resembles a giant spider's web. It is easily broken, but anyone touching it at least according to the Institute studies, anyone touching it dies within the next 24 hours. Causes vary.
Yeah, we shouldn't touch any of that stuff.
I'm gonna literally say that out loud.
Same here.
What was just read. I'm just gonna say that out loud to everybody.
Everything Jason said?
Yeah, everything Jason said.
Okay, well then, I guess we have rewound time. So instead of throwing the torch, Mike will just say "fuck" and go out the front door, and try to get to Wendy's bedroom window.
Whose bedroom?
My little sister.
Oh. Okay, yeah. You find which so is her bedroom
Her bedroom would be the one facing the side of the house. The window facing the side of the house.
Not the front, but
yeah, not the front, not the back, but the side. I'm imagining the bedroom's kind of, cloverleaf pattern where one window faces the front yard, one window faces the backyard, one window faces the side.
Okay. Yeah, you don't see any of this silver web outside of the house.
Okay.
So yeah, you're able to get around to the side and find her window.
All right, I am going to enter it, breaking it if necessary.
Do we see any of the webbing inside of the room that he's trying to break into?
Yeah, obviously I'm not gonna go right into some webbing if I can see it from the window, but
no, you don't see anything like that from there.
All right, so
but the window is pretty dirty, inside and out. So, you give it a tug. It feels like there's some give in it. So, yeah, you get to the window, you try the window, and it doesn't. You can feel a little bit of give. Which is when you notice that your sister apparently did keep a like a dowel in the inside of the window to keep it from opening up.
Yeah, Mom and Dad probably put that there. She was small.
Well, yeah.
She was probably 6 or 7 at the time of the visitation.
So not that much younger than you.
No, not that much younger, but younger enough.
Okay.
Those age differences are nothing when you're in your 30s, but they're a lot when you're a kid.
True.
I am going to break the window and just climb through where the glass was. I've got the rifle, so I can use the butt of the rifle to break the window.
Yeah, no, you shatter the window. The sound seems to like that. The sound from doing that feels like it carries forever in the relative silence around you. But that feeling passes. You clean out the ring of glass remaining, so you can climb over safely. What's in her room?
It's very pink, She was very much a girly girl. She had a pink bedspread. She had pink trim on the walls. She had Probably, I don't know, whatever girls watched 13 years ago, posters of it up on the wall, and
yeah. I mean, everything's kind of peeling and decaying.
yeah.
The color has definitely faded, so it's less of a vibrant pink and more of a really dull pink, dull and dirty.
Is there any sign of disturbance in the dust, as though anyone has been in here?
No, it's just like it looks like it's been sitting like this for over a decade.
Is there a body?
No. No body.
And
no
where
remains.
where are the rest of you? Are you still in the house, or did you go around the side with me?
I'm in the yard looking around.
I would say I came out with you.
If it
And you
doesn't
can
kill me, then I'm in the kitchen.
I would like to use my sharp eyes to see if I can looking through all the parts of the house that I can access now. Any sign of what may have happened to Wendy. And this is where, if you tell me no, I'm going to spend an alertness point on it.
You're gonna spend an alertness point to do what specifically?
To look specifically for any clue of where she went, why she wasn't with Mom, why we never saw her again. Footprints in the dust, something knocked over that shouldn't be, something that she loved that she took with her or didn't take with her. Anything that I can find. Did she mutate into something? Is she these cobwebs? How do I know?
You've swept my leg a bit with this.
I wrote it in the character sheet last week. I sent it to you.
Oh, I don't even remember that far back.
We talked about it.
Sweep
I don't remember talking about your sister specifically.
Okay.
Oh, fudge.
As I follow you out, Mike, you do see me stuffing like a photo album in my backpack that I picked up off a table in the living room.
Hey, wait. What? Why are you taking the photo album?
It's for you to give to your mother.
Oh, right the fuck there.
All right, and I'm gonna grab it for a second and just flip through it, and seeing that there's nothing wrong with the photos, I'll just give it back to your backpack. I don't care too much about the photos.
Your mom will appreciate it.
If we're leaving, then I have a toaster.
Okay.
But just because.
Rick, you were able to get at that toaster. It's pretty old. It's not super fancy.
It's okay. It's just for parts.
So, excuse me. Your sister had a favorite, like, stuffed toy?
Mm-hmm.
What is it?
It's a rabbit.
Okay. But how big would you say it is?
A little longer than a grown man's head.
Okay. as you're looking around her room, like what sort of stuff did your sister like to do?
There
Like,
there was a lot of coloring. She was big into coloring. There were crayons everywhere. She did some reading, but she wasn't like a big reader. I have a 5-year-old kid. You'd think I'd know what they do.
No, I mean, did she like God, I can barely remember what I did when I was 5.
Like Legos. Legos are a big thing.
Like well, looking around her room, you see her pile, like what the remains of her pile of stuffed animals.
Okay.
And that rabbit is missing.
Okay, guys, when you're done robbing my house, we need to figure out what happened to Wendy. Because wherever she is, she took a rabbit with her. And that means she knew she was leaving.
Okay. As Dr. Octavian's walking around the yard, he's trying to find where the master bedroom would be.
I would think the master bedroom would probably be the one with the front window.
Yeah.
Is there a way to access it?
The only hallway to it's one hallway to all the bedrooms,
right.
And that's the one. So you'd have to go to the window, like I did with Wendy's room.
So if the window doesn't open, I'm gonna break a window pane to see if I can reach in and open the window and get it open.
Okay.
Like what are you looking for in here?
Yes, I am going to the master bathroom to go through the medicine cabinet.
Damn it.
Looking for some medication that they may not sell anymore, any pain meds, looking for black market value.
Mike, did either of your parents have any medical conditions that they'd need like prescription meds for?
Not at the time. If he were to rob my mom's medicine cabinet now, woo!
Wrong house, Fred.
Got brave really fast there, Doc.
No, there's like some basic ass Tylenol, Advil, some Bayer back and body.
Yeah, I'd imagine like those are still readily available and well expired, so he's just sort of tossing them on the ground.
Yeah.
Tell him there's some Darvocet.
Was there any
don't
liquor
know
in the
what that
kitchen
is.
cabinets, Rick?
I don't know. I mean,
Darvocet?
what's it? Marmoset?
Darvocet.
Oh.
It's a painkiller, but it got taken off the market because it killed people.
Oh, shit. Well, it definitely ended their pain.
Oh boy.
Just kind of permanent style.
Oh, what was the drug? It's from like the 60s. That eventually there was at some point they took it off the market, but there was a bunch of it out there. It'll come to me later.
Ibuprofen.
No.
Mike, did your father have a liquor cabinet?
Oh yeah.
You have a drink on your dad. Poor guy. Sorry you had to shoot him.
I mean, I didn't actually. I used the hatchet.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it's much worse, but thanks for reminding me.
My bad. Let's go see if we can't find a bottle of liquor in your house.
All right.
Decade-old liquor.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes that makes it better.
Yeah.
Well, I know that Wendy's not in the house.
She's definitely not here.
Whatever happened, she didn't die at home.
No.
All right. There's no point searching for 13-year-old footprints, especially not in a city or a town.
Are we looking for clues at this point? Because
that's what I'm looking for. The only clue I found is that her rabbit isn't here. I mean, but did you find anything while you were stealing my toaster, or?
It's just a toaster, man.
I know. I'm not hassling you about the toaster. I am hassling all you guys about your general attitude of just looting my house. But
the photos are for your mom.
Okay,
and I just figured a bottle of liquor would be, it'd be worth the trouble.
Yeah, zone liquor. Maybe it'll make us go blind.
Sounds good to me.
And the drug I was trying to remember was Quaaludes. That was what
I've heard of those.
It took a moment.
Yeah.
Is that ball of electricity still dancing around on the wires up there?
Yes.
Is that his sister?
That's what I was going for next.
Oh. No.
Maybe my sister turned into a ball of electricity. It's zone shit. Stuff happens. My dad turned into a Lovecraftian horror. Maybe Wendy's a ball of lightning. Maybe she likes it.
Is there a jewelry box around? Like,
you know what? Rob the neighbor's house, all right?
Your mother, seriously. Your mom will appreciate the heirlooms from your family.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah. The garbage we're stealing.
I'm giving
her some of.
Yeah. I plan to give it to your mom. That's it.
Fine. I'll give her the toaster too. Gosh.
She doesn't want the You can have the toaster, Doc.
Hey, Doc, see if you can find some coffee for Mike. I'm sure he'd appreciate.
I'm already chewing on like 4 caffeine pills. Tireless.
All right. Well, with the big caveat that I don't really have much more for this right now.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to do?
Our goal as a group was to get to Lower Klamath and back and report on the safe path.
Yeah.
At this point, Mike is going to have to tell you guys that he's not going.
You're not coming back with us?
I'll come back as soon as I find out what happened to Wendy. You guys don't have to stay here for that. Sinzara?
Yeah, Mike?
When you give my mom the photo album, let her know I'll see her as soon as I can.
I will.
All right.
Which direction will you travel from here in case I come back looking for you?
I'll start with some neighbors' houses that I know that she knew. I'll swing by the main drag. It looked like there wasn't too much wrong with it. Maybe she went there thinking it'd be safe. Might check out her school. Any place she might have run to.
Okay. I'll give. She's kind of tearing up a little bit. It's like, you be careful. I know you've got it. You're capable. You can do this. But I'll try and find my way back.
Good luck.
How old was she when this happened?
She was about to turn 7.
You could spend a day looking, but not much longer.
Yeah, man. I mean, I understand it's your sister and all, but are you sure it's wise? I mean, it's been, what, 13 years? But I understand you got to do what you got to do, man.
Yeah, wisdom doesn't really enter into it.
Oh, and Mike, while I was in your mom and dad's place, I searched one of the cabinets in the the living room. I don't know if this is okay, Jason, but I found another box of bullets for your family rifle.
In the high cabinet, I hope.
Yeah, it was a high cabinet. You know, those types of
It's in
places.
the bottom.
Your
with the
perfect
curio
toddler
cabinet.
reach area.
Right,
Yeah, exactly.
right next to the candy.
And Steve,
Hidden behind some Christmas gifts, actually.
I want to be pretty explicit. I would not mind coming back. If you all don't mind stopping here, I would not entirely mind coming back to this and searching more of the town. I'm just feeling really tapped out right now.
I mean, it's up to these guys. Like, I'm fine with the end of Mike's story being that he stays in the town. And,
Okay.
but like, we did also have a group mission that kind of needs to get wrapped up.
Yeah, you have the group mission, and you could always come back.
Yeah, that's what Sinzara was planning to do, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, break it. You know, we leave, Mike spends some time here, we come back like 2 months later, a week later.
Probably find old man Mike with one eye. It's only been a week in your time, but I'm like
There's a time anomaly that you found near the college.
But I'll be quiet now while you guys wrap up your story here.
Okay. So yeah, how are you all planning on coming back?
My vote would be to head back on the byway to try that route first before ever going back to the mine. But that's just
Maybe that wall will transport us even further. It's like a shortcut.
that's what I was hoping.
Get us like 3 miles down the road.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay, yeah. So y'all leave Mike in Lower Klamath, head back up the byway, and yeah, you come back. You get to around the area where you originally ran into that anomaly, and coming back this way, no, it doesn't do anything.
Oh, we just walk through it normally.
Walk right there.
Yes.
Hmm.
Do any of you want to try going back the other way to see if it's a weird one-way thing?
Yeah, because it could teleport us back to the rest stop, but no telling for real. I mean, maybe I got lucky last time, and I followed Mike through so quickly.
Yeah. Maybe we just report that it works.
Yeah, it works.
By the time we get paid, Goat Sucker will have maybe been dissipated or who knows what, but hey, it worked when we went through.
Absolutely.
No
Okay.
guarantees.
Yeah, no, you've got a decent walk back. What's your plan for getting back over the perimeter?
So, Doc Green, can we ride with you? You said you had contacts at the wall, something like that. Somehow you got your car in here.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to be prisoner like people that I found, and I'm reporting you. It's no big deal. You'll be free on the other side, but that's how we'll get past the gate.
Okay, Han, you put these on him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I hide in the tiny little hatchback of this thing?
Well, we'd have to go back to the mine to get my Pinto, and
Yeah, I don't know
And
We'll just, Doc Fred, you just want to walk, let him go get his own car.
let's walk.
Sneak
oh,
back.
I'm not
through the
going
way.
back to get the car. There's things there that they just flow. So I'm not going back there. We can walk, but
so I'm going to re-ask, what's your plan for getting back across the perimeter?
Same way we snuck in, right?
Yeah, I think we went further left down to the west, right? But I think the question was, how do we approach the perimeter, right? Because in the past, I think we left in the morning when the guards were more focused inward versus outward, right?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, how long has it been since they left? Because didn't you guys cut a hole in the fence or something?
yeah.
So that could have been noticed.
That's true. Well, meanwhile, on us, we have really nothing. We didn't find any artifacts or anything that would be suspicious, right? Like, would my knowledge of the organization let me know how they would handle that?
I mean, you just being in the zone is technically illegal.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, but we all know there's illegal and then illegal,
Yeah, but I mean,
On a scale of 1 to 10, how illegal was it?
crossing acts now,
What's that?
Like contemporary border crossing.
Okay, gotcha. So it's not drive 5 over the speed limit 5 miles per hour illegal.
No, this would be up there with if they caught you in the middle of the China Lake weapons testing facility.
Gotcha. Okay.
Not the facility, but
Right.
the ground.
Right. You've broken into.
It would be what the fuck are you doing here? You A, how did you get here? B, you shouldn't be here.
Yeah. Well, especially we don't have Mike and his scope to help us search out.
You still have your binoculars.
True. As long as I don't look at the sun.
Says an obnoxious voice in your head.
Sure, we wait
Oh my
for the
God.
right moment.
In a drugged out bit of foolishness, you just pointed them straight at the sun, Trump style, and went, "What's that?"
Maybe I can use them to shoot lasers and burn the fence.
Yeah.
Cut our way through again.
Anyway. So Doc mentioned the car. Where did you drive across the fence?
I drove right through the gate. That's what I'm saying. I can get through. You guys can come with me. You just have to act like I caught you doing something you shouldn't have done. Like being out.
You're positive they'll let us go?
They let me out. I don't see why they wouldn't let you go. You don't have anything. Well, you have a photo book, and I think they're familiar with Doc Ock's pill addiction, so.
Well, whatever gets it done, I guess.
In terms of the zone, with the perimeter fence, did I notice at what distance from the fence cell phone reception was restored? Because is it an immediate? I imagine whoever built this perimeter fence didn't necessarily put the fence itself right into the zone, right?
No.
Okay. Because I'm debating whether or not just to approach the fence and see if I can call one of my contacts.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you can get close to the fence and have cell phone coverage, or your cell phone will function.
Okay. Yeah, when we do that, I'm gonna try and call.
Okay, who's this friend you're calling?
Let's see, how does that described with agents? Knows all sorts of people who buy artifacts and whom they really it's with like smuggler networks. Never mind. It wasn't what I thought it was.
Don't you also have friends?
Did I?
No, you don't.
No, I do not. I thought about taking it, but maybe that's what I changed it to agents instead. Yeah.
You don't have any friends.
No, I don't. I don't have a skill at friendship.
Did any of you take any charisma skills?
What are those?
Yes, one of you apparently did.
Who plays the bard?
Who's
Mia.
the closest thing to a bard?
Performer and empathy?
Yeah. Those aren't really the friendship skills I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
I debated choosing sexy just because of the description of my character. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, I'm gonna give myself sexy.
Raw sexual magnetism. Oh look, my Geiger counter is going off. Is it magnetism?
Well, you can't. It does allow you to do things to make people. It does allow you to make people do things that they will later regret.
Yeah.
Well, did you say that that Sinzara has performer? Because that could get us through.
Yeah, performance and streetwise, so it could put on airs or something.
Says can portray himself as something they're not, talk himself past a doorman, convince police officer, so on. Basic ability.
Or I was thinking like the Lieutenant Uhura feather dance from Star Trek V.
Exactly that. That's what we're doing. That's what we're
The
doing.
one that Shatner directed. Well, I'm going to say Shatner.
Yeah.
As much as I love Star Trek, that movie just annoys me.
Yeah. Although it does have the best line, what does God need with a starship? But other than that, like the rest of the movie.
It has moments.
Like it's got merit.
It has more moments than I gave it credit for when I was young, but
it's still
here's the thing. There have been 3 Star Trek crews in the movies.
Mm-hmm.
Each of them has one that is abysmally awful and unwatchable. It's Star Trek V for the original crew, it's Nemesis for Picard's crew, and it's Into Darkness for the reboot crew.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But Tom Hardy was in Nemesis.
Go on.
But
what else was in Nemesis?
But
although I would say like the Generation ones were
okay, First Contact was great. And Generations and what's the other one? Insurrection were just fine. Like they were long episodes of the show.
Yeah. So yeah, Mike, Sinzara, what do you think? Do we trust Rick to try the car method, or do we want to see if you can perform your way across?
I think maybe between the two of us, if Sinzara is going to do some performance, then I can just say that my car is stuck at the mine, and then you're the only one that has to play dumb. Why don't you just take a few more of your painkillers?
I do have a bunch of sedatives. I just can drug myself so I'm at a drooling state, and you guys can walk me across the board.
I'm sorry, Jason. This is a winning plan.
We found this zombie in the zone. It's drooling and barely functional. We need to bring this across the border and back to our home.
I don't.
We can study
I don't
this.
see how you can do anything other than let that be 100% success.
Yeah, that sounds good. At this point, that sounds good.
I'm going to spend every ability and point I can to pull that off.
We drag your drugged,
That's ridiculous
body
and goofy.
across. Okay.
I am okay with that.
All right.
Probably they're all so intimidated by Doc Green's reputation that they just let him get away with stuff. He turned my sister-in-law into a chicken. A chicken!
Oh, is that a Rick and Morty reference?
No, not
part of it.
intentionally. I don't watch that show, but I'm aware of what
I haven't
kind of
watched that
character
show
he
in
is.
years.
I'm aware
It's
of
a
what
what?
kind of character he is, but I don't actually watch the show.
I watched the first few seasons, and then I got really sick of the fandom.
Now.
So do we make it back to the?
Yeah,
Go.
you guys make it back. You're fine. Everything's fine.
I gotta go to see Mike's mom, and I'm like crying. I hand over the photo book. It's like, we found this on the other side. Mike is looking for your
Where's
daughter.
Mike?
He stayed behind to look for your daughter.
But when will he be back?
Don't know. We may go look for him again in a couple days.
I hope he's okay.
He'll be fine.
Mom is, not all there because she's on so much pain meds all the time.
Oh yeah, what kind?
Yeah, you didn't go with Cesaro. You didn't go there. You're probably in your own basement.
He's still drugged up. It's fine.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you all very much for trying this out with me.
Yeah, it's a cool game.
It was fun. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a very interesting world.
Yeah. I like the world. I think I would like to run this with something maybe a little more traditional.
Yeah, I would have liked more, and this was kind of just our own not doing it, but I would have liked maybe an opportunity to use the one mechanic the players have, which is spending attribute points to get something done.
Yeah,
See, I wasn't even aware of that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I actually texted Jason last week, and I was like, so I've read this book, and it seems like the whole thing is just like, well, yeah, just role play it, except for this one thing, and that's the only mechanic.
Yeah, I was having trouble thinking of things, and the few things I did think of, y'all just, let's just take the long way around that.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're not gonna go in the Knight Rider bathroom or or down the radioactive glowing hallway.
Although I am tempted to go back to that Knight Rider bathroom because I'm just curious to see.
I mean, Steve definitely wants to know what was in there, but Mike wanted to live.
Right.
Well, okay. The glowing cavern was intended to be a just keep walking.
Right.
Yeah.
The glowing bathroom had something in it.
All right.
But you see how from our perspective, that was the same thing twice. It was a way you could go to see something glowing that you don't know what it is. And so
you could explore.
To us, those were
with
both
the weirdness.
To us, those were both just ways to die.
I mean, you never even you completely avoided the meat grinders.
Oh, is that what those were?
It's a thing that like it's basically like it'll like if something enters into its like proximity, it'll essentially suck it in, like throw it up into the air, grind it up real bad,
Oh.
and then let the remains drop.
Oh, so that's where all the bones and stuff came
Yeah.
from then? Ah, gotcha.
Well, you know, Mike
Surprise, we didn't go outside.
Mike never left the zone, so anything at all could be happening to him now.
True. But it's like actually like running it. I think I would have liked even mildly more traditional system that I could go, oh yeah, you need to do a thing. Like fucking roll for it and don't put it all on me saying yes or no. I don't like having that much authority.
No, I could see where it's
yeah,
a
I hear
DM
that, yeah.
putting a lot on
Like,
you.
It's that feeling of like, oh sure, I could let you walk into something stupid because you didn't specifically describe yourself not doing so.
Right.
But I fucking hate that. I fucking hate that. And like when people like run games like that, you didn't say you didn't tie your shoes. Like, really?
No. I mean, I think you did.
No, that's like.
Yeah.
So I was curious how running this would feel, and I still like. I love this like idea of a setting. The system isn't bad. It's just really not for me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of freedom given to the players, though, also because it's essentially like, what can you come up with? And if you come up with the right thing, then like it ties the game master's hands to where you're like, no, like I thought of this loophole for you. Like your job then is to determine like where's the loophole for you to not get to do what you said.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, it's a very heavily role-play game. I mean, what we do is role-playing games, and some are more game and some are more role-play. And this is the latter in the extreme. I think I might be the GM that this is for. Because I love not having rules. I love just being like, yeah, you can't do that because there's a fucking tiger now.
It sounds vaguely familiar.
If you read through this and you ever want to run it, I am there for that.
All right. Well, in the future, we maybe do that. I have a whole stack we got to get through. Backlog, if you will.
Oh my goodness. It's a callback to the name of the show.
It's the origin of the name of the show. Anyway, it's 11:35 and we all want to go to sleep. So thank you guys. Yeah. Thank you so much, Jason, for running it.
Yeah, thank you, Jay.
Yes.
Thanks for having us.
Looking forward to building more momentum next week.
Conan.
Find my damn character sheet.
All right. See you guys.
Mine's unrolled. Yeah, I know where mine is.
Same crew next week.
Conan.
Somewhere.
Conan, here we come.
All right.